Cyprus, this is a pearl among the islands in the eastern Mediterranean Sea. Wonderful seasides, lovely nature and a lot of culture, this represents this country. In the past, one of the famous German travel business enterprises advertised with the slogan, Cyprus, this is the island, where the lords make their holidays. But the lords must have closed their eyes when they doesn't see the big number of abandoned dogs all over there. The forgotten dogs of Cyprus, these are the dogs which nobody wants to have, which were chased away of the house, or were disposed like waste by irresponsible people. They live somewhere in the background. Mostly they are very hungry and very frightened. A lot of them are just only skin and bone. They bear the scars of their ailments all over their bodies. Some of them were armed unthinkably. So there are found dogs, which were shooted and wounded, which have been soused with petrol and were lighted, which had broken pads, and which must bear a lot of bad things. These dog a wire sling were increases into his flesh, because his former owner used the sling as a dog collar. A lot of the abandoned dogs arrive here, into the murder station like these puppy dogs, which are fit as a fiddle. And this is Julia Manglis. She is more than 70 years old, but she doesn't stop to rescue dogs. Since more than 30 years she cares for abandoned dogs on her private land. There are more than 100 dogs with her every time. Barbara Balberg, a very active local animal welfare activist, was pointed to the animal shelter at the beginning of 2009. At once she saw that support is much needed there. Thereafter she started to organize assistance. She also started to coordinate all necessary works. For the first we will make an inventory. More than 100 dogs in small pens, this is no ultimate solution in the length of time. Here it must happen something for the dogs, and this must be very quickly. This means to collect donations and start to rearrange step by step. At the very first, the fence around the land must be repaired, so the dogs can run around free by the hour. After this, bigger ponds shall be built. Alongside, the agency of dogs also started. In the past the dogs got a simple home, some food and water, but there was nobody who had time enough to play with them. This kind of life the dogs owned of these people, who took them in their house, but later chased them away, or disposed them like waste. Now the works started. At the first, a hard dirt container and a wheel loader have been organized. With a lot of sweaty efforts, a big part of the waste was removed. Then the ground was smoothed to build here the ponds later. It still looks a little bit chaotic, but later you will find here roomy ponds for the dogs. Still a lot of waste and hard dirt is to remove. But slowly, very slowly you can see the progress. Then the fences are mounted completely. The dogs can trial the new ponds for the first time. Also from a distance you can see very imposingly the building progress of this project. All these previous works took place during the later springtime, and in the summer, oftentimes at temperatures of more than 35 degrees into the shadow. And the end of the works is still not in the view. This is a torture for all of the field helpers, but the dogs are worth of it. More hard dirt must be removed. Base plates must be built, and also the works at the fences are not finished still. The waved metals between the pens are mounted as blinds, so it is hoped that the dogs' packs will be calmer. Formerly the water for the dogs must be carried from afar. Today there is a water supply in each of the 21 pens. Flowing water, in Europe's implicitness, is here a big assistance for the people who care for the dogs. But before the water could run, the big cistern must be started up, there must be also built pipes, and the pumps had been installed. The sole current generator must be taken away at home each evening, so it will not be a prey of thieves. And finally the time has come that the dogs can move into the new pens. Here they have much more space than before. Now the helpers also got a separate room to rest. But it is equipped only very simply. From time to time it is also used as an office, or by the veterinary for medical examinations, inoculations and simple treatments. Here, for example, the veterinary examines the dogs for typical Mediterranean animals' diseases. On building sites mostly it looks a little bit untidy. But here it needs more time till all is in order again, because the speed of works is addicted to the donations for their project. And these are they, the very active persons locally on Cyprus. It is moving on with the building works, because there is still a lot to do more. Daily all pens will be cleaned very careful, so it can be avoided diseases of the dogs. The water supplies in the pens, and a high-power cleaner make this works more easy. Winter on Cyprus. There is no snow here, but this season is very uncomfortable oftentimes. Now very often the sky opens all of its locks at one time. The rain falls like a deluge, and the ways are usable very troublesome, the way to the shelter included. Also into the pens the water stands very hot. Meanwhile the fences between the pens must be enforced. Some dogs were an awful bore, that they had broken through the fences to the other dogs. Green blinds were mounted at the fences, so the dogs' packs will be calmer, and to avoid rivalry. The works in the Julia shelter will going on also in the future. There is still a lot to do. All what is needed is not reachable immediately. It needs a lot of money to continue the works, and the money is given only by donators. But before the works can go on, the care of the dogs is the first task in the shelter. Hello, my name is Fido. I am also a dog from Cyprus. I am one of more than 700 other dogs from here, who got a new and safe home by Sidra and Cypern and DV. We all shall help the other forgotten dogs in my old homeland. And every one of us should do it as well as he can. There are no public donations for the animal protection on Cyprus.